Hi, today I'm going to talk about license plate recognition and the impact on the industry now and in the future. License plate recognition has become a very big topic. It's having a very big impact, and we're seeing most new washes that are out there are obviously going with license plate recognition. I work for Washify, full disclosure, and we sell license plate recognition systems, but I'm going to go at this from an objective point of view and hopefully inform you about what it can do, and the possibilities. A lot of people say, what took so long? Why is it so late to come to the car wash market? And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. Processor speeds. So it wasn't fast enough on most computers to make it happen at an accurate read rate. There are people who are out there offering license plate recognition solutions, but before a couple of years ago, they were really only at 85% read rates, which for most people just wasn't acceptable. And then the graphical processing cards. These are what really makes what you see on your monitor great or not so great. And back in '96, me playing Doom then, I had to use my mind's eye to really make these characters stand out. Today, the shadowing, the angles, the movement is far ahead. That's a lot thanks to the technology. It's also due in part to software algorithms. They're just better at composing images. Into a little bit more, the areas of impact for car washing are going to be obviously memberships, right? Loyalty programs, but then there's an element of personalization too. You can know who they are, not just club members. You can know everybody that comes on the property. And then marketing data. How does this feed into marketing data, and how can it help you better approach or bring offers to a certain customer or not? And then pandemic. How is license plate recognition being affected during the pandemic? How's it impacting washes? And then how does it work with mobile apps? You've got an app, you've got a camera, and you've got a kiosk. How could those three things come together to make your wash not only more automated, but really enhance the person's experience? And then gateless systems. We'll go into that a little bit when I talk about future impacts. But let's first tackle memberships. RFID stickers. If some of you have been running programs, you know they're not permanent. Somebody's windshield can get cracked and they replace it. Somebody can get a new vehicle, return a vehicle from a lease, move out of town. And also we had a customer recently who switched over to license plate recognition, and it was more of a cautionary tale. We had a customer who looked up and they had washed 119 times over, I think, a 10-month period. And it wasn't all one vehicle. They had taken the tag and had decided that their neighbors should be able to wash their car and their family members should be able to wash the car with one single RFID tag. And they were only stopped because the license plate recognition was put in place. And this also ties into the last story. Who are you trusting to apply these tags? I mean, handed out just like stickers, they're gonna not get peeled off and applied. They're gonna get passed around. So, and we've seen that. So, a lot of people have their staff apply the sticker. That's obviously you're getting labor involved there. So this also eliminates the labor if you're just looking at the plate. And we've seen a growing number of windshields that just have a certain spot where the sticker needs to go. A lot of customers aren't keen to have a sticker in their windshield if they had a choice. And the license plate recognition can be particularly advantageous for in-bays where putting a sticker on is probably not optimal. It can lead to faster signups. Personalization and marketing purposes. So this can inform your cashier or your kiosk, meaning tell them how many times somebody's been there, what they've been paying for in the past. And this doesn't just go for club memberships. So this can put them in a position, or put your kiosk in a position, to upsell people, to offer things that maybe they've had before to get that average ticket up there. Or maybe not offer them certain things if they have a certain kind of package. Informing your marketing is a huge piece of this. And what I mean by that is if you can run reports out of your system of who's been in, who hasn't been in, and then target them. So again, we're not just talking about run a report of club members that haven't been in 30 days and try to get them to come in, because you know that people going over 30 days without using the club program are going to churn out at a high rate. Talking about approaching people who maybe haven't been to the wash in a month. And we're not just talking about those people who are club members, right? We'll get into that a little bit more. You can also track points for folks. So even if they're not on the points program, you can start banking points for them. And you can offer to help them unleash those points by them simply downloading the app that you offer them at your wash. So they can put in their license plate number, and the app is now tied to their license plate, which then pulls in their points. So imagine this. You're somebody who pulls up. It says, do you want to download the app on the screen? You download the app for the wash. You put in your plate. You start banking points, and you're in a almost virtual club program, and you didn't even know it. So these are great opportunities. This technology is leading to great opportunities to engage with people who maybe don't want a certain level of financial commitment, but want a incentive. Pandemic's changed a lot of behavior. I mean, we all go out now, see people in masks, and we don't think it's weird. Beyond what we perceive as weird or not, we're avoiding certain types of interactions. I don't think anybody's putting their hand out for handshakes too much, especially with people they don't know. And they're favoring a little bit of distance, right? So we don't really see this happening at any wash right now. And what we are seeing happen is people want to buy more. They're buying it more without getting the staff involved. They're buying through the app. They're buying through a website. And when you tie the license plate together with that, it has a tremendous capability to increase throughput at your wash. Because what you can do is have it so they never even have to roll down the window. The idea is they buy on the app, they put their license plate in, and when they show up at your wash, they can be recognized. Now, different systems have different ways of doing that, but it's a great way. It's sad to say that we're seeing cases spike up in certain parts of the country right now. Not a good thing at all, and so that's going to cause more people to be a bit more cautious. You can help them feel like they're keeping safe, then that's a great thing for your wash. The impact in the future is going to be big. So we have it where you could scan every plate, put essentially, not just us, anybody, you could put a plate out there, and there are companies doing it out there for security for neighborhoods. One's called Flocker. The idea being that you put cameras out there in your neighborhood, and they record every vehicle coming and going. Pretty intense. Now this is a little bit different because people are coming on your property and you want to have them, let's say, pre-set up to make transaction happen. So once they enter the property, you scan their plate. No need to wait for them to go to the kiosk or to the POS terminal, and they're already there. All you have to do is just when they approach the kiosk or the POS terminal, it'll load their record right on the screen, and the attendant or the kiosk can take it from there. Also, you can go without gates. There are some companies that go without gates. Probably the most successful franchise of all time is one that goes without gates, and they don't seem to have too much trouble with it. By having a camera read at the entrance of the tunnel and then at the kiosk as well, you're able to restack everybody regardless of what order they go in. So if somebody's in your queue and has to get out of line to take a phone call, very easy for the restack to happen with the camera at the entrance of the tunnel. And another way that we've seen out there are companies that will take the data and tie it back to VIN information, and from there look to get addresses. We don't do that in my company, but there are some companies that are doing that, and that's another way of targeting. So that's going to the next level. I can't vouch for any of those companies doing it, but that is absolutely happening. What's the difference in the offerings that you see out there? Well, some process the image on the camera, some process the image, meaning figure out what the image is as for a license plate, some process it on the kiosk. Some cameras can be located in the front, some cameras can be located in the back. There's some states that only require a back plate. Some states require a front and back plate. We just at our company place the cameras in the back mostly. We've had a couple folks place it in the front. And generally with everybody, you're going to want to get the camera at an angle where it can see. So for some customers, if they don't have enough of a area there, it can be a little bit tough. You need about 18-25 feet back from the center of the kiosk and over to the side a little bit so it can read the cars as they come into the turn. There's some variation that I think all of the providers can give you there. We have people putting it on different level arches to get the best angle. We even have people who are doing an arch over several different lanes. We have one doing it over 4 lanes. So that's a very big implementation, very big arch. And then speed. So I think most are down sub 3 seconds to process. And accuracy rates are different by provider. And then once it reads once, it's going to be 5 nines, meaning like a fingerprint. If it reads once and there's no obstruction, it's going to read 99.999% of the time accuracy on that. Challenges of different offerings out there. Just be where you're placing the cameras. These cameras can be in some cases expensive items. They're not like your normal security camera, although you can tie the photos into your POS in most cases to get images of a vehicle and attach it to the transaction. I want to thank you for taking the time, and please reach out if you have any questions.